Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Biohazard 3 Real Survival. And in the last episode, Jill and I managed to escape the terrifying clutches of the Nemesis yet again, only to run smack dab into a horde of zombies in the sewers beneath the dead factory. Luckily for us, we were saved by Carlos, who just happened to inform us of the fact that the US military is going to launch a missile that will completely wipe out the entirety of Raccoon City, as well as the T-Virus and the creatures roaming around. Now, we do not have a lot of time left to get the hell out of Dodge, and unfortunately Carlos has left us alone yet again to fight our own battles. So we're going to have to fight some Drain Deimos. And case in point, there is one right there by the stairs. Get our freeze rounds ready, Jill, and we are going to have to try and do this right because we do not have a lot of rounds left to us. Okay, that's done. That's done. And another one bites the dust. That's 3 for 3. Marvelous. Some nice shooting there, Jill. It appears to be a device, again, conveniently marked with the Umbrella Corporation's trademark logo there. Yeah, if you didn't want the world finding out about your T-Virus experiments, you probably shouldn't have labeled everything with your corporate insignia. The water pollution control device has stopped functioning. It displays an error message. Oh dear. That water looks completely and utterly disgusting. It is filled with a nasty smelling liquid. That is not the only thing that it's filled with. Is there anything else we can use? Wait, I just spotted something amazing. Shotgun shells. Not just shotgun shells. More shotgun shells, which is even better than just having shotgun. Yeah. Basically shotgun shells, more shotgun shells. There doesn't appear to be anything else on this little table here, but I will not say no to shotgun shells, and neither will Jill. Jill will definitely not say no to shotgun shells. Time to reload. Now we are back in business. Now we're actually, we are back in business. But as I said before, there are not just, there are not just, there isn't just water here. We cannot get any closer than this. There are bodies in that water, would you believe? Bodies and remains. This is exactly what kind of facility is, well, should have actually been obvious in the designation. When activating a polluted water disposal device, make sure that the area has been evacuated of all personnel. Yeah, the dead factory is a disposal facility. It is not for creating the T-Virus bioweapons. It is in fact to get rid of them, or at the very least dispose of any experimental or irregular mutations that do not suit the Umbrella Corporation's needs. But like all other facilities in Raccoon City, the dead factory has been completely overrun. Hence its colloquial title of the Dead Factory. The only way out of here, besides the door we just came in from, appears to be this door conveniently marked elevator. So in we shall go. Which looks like it will take us to the next next level. So let's head up. Since we were underground, this technically means that we're on the first floor. Oh, and there are zombies. So glad we got shotgun shells. Alright, get over here. No, do not get headshotted. Without wasting ammo like no one's business. Make it count, Jill. Marvelous. There is a zombie over there, but more importantly, herbs. Herbs. Herbs everywhere. Oh, herbs that we're going to have to save for later. Never mind. We shall need those herbs. Oh, will we need those herbs? I think it's time to put you out of your misery, good sir. Judging by his lab coat and the lab coats on the others, they were the researchers, or at the very least the staff that's down here. There is something else on this apparatus. A system disk. Very reminiscent of the MO discs of old. Is there anything else in these lockers? No, there doesn't appear to be. Is there anything else? Probably. Actually, I don't. I'm not regretting picking up that herb. Some kind of observation system is running. Seems to have been installed recently. Unfortunately, it will no longer serve its purpose, considering the fact that its operators have now been completely zombified. There's an area behind here with blue herbs, which we will not need. But more importantly, there is a door over here with a red light on it. It's a security system. System power, standby mode, water check, error. Manual verification is required to unlock. Now, if we read the, can we read the notification beside here? We cannot. But we need some sort of water verification to be able to get through this door. Or rather, to access the security system blocking that door. We're going to have to come back for the herbs as well as that disc, because both of them are going to be incredibly vital. Oh, but we're not done with the dead factory just yet. We've only just arrived. There is definitely going to be more to be had. But there is something over here, though. The Dead Factory map. It's not actually supposed to be called the Dead Factory, it's supposed to be the P12A incineration or disposal facility. But for all intents and purposes, it is the Dead Factory. And there was an area that we went straight past down there, and apparently that is marked as the first floor instead of the basement floor. Well, considering the fact that we are very high up, yeah, that edifice at the other end of the bridge where the Nemesis was walking to, that was the entrance to the Dead Factory, but because we jumped off, a move that I do not regret doing so, yeah, we came in via an alternate entrance. And apparently this door was locked from this side, apparently, which is good to know. So now we can make our way through here. Oh! Gunfire.
Nikolai?
There he goes. There goes the traitor. The Umbrella Monitor, Nikolai Zinoviev. We managed to get to this point. And he has closed off that shutter. It's electronically locked. And there is a card key reader that we do not have. And according to the map, it leads to a area that we would most definitely want to get to. Now, of course, had we entered in from the bridge, we would have ended up here. But there is no reason to go outside to the edifice of the exterior of the Dead Factory, and there is a wall explosive, possibly planted there by Nikolai. Good to know. And speaking of which, this area is not going to be monster free for too much longer. Anything else we can use? Anything at all would be absolutely fantastic. No? Well, the only way forward is through here, which is conveniently marked on the map as a storage room. And that is going to be to our advantage, because once again, we have a safe haven. As safe as the Dead Factory can be at this point. A weekly schedule is scribbled here. Hopefully we can find out more about Umbrella's activities here in the Dead Factory. But first and foremost, we shall put away certain things like, well, the pistols at this point, because there is, at this point, there is currently no reason for us to take pistols at this point. Going to keep a hold of the reloading tool, just in case. There is something here. A facility key. Yeah, why not? Chances are we're going to have to use this key at some point in the Dead Factory, so let's do that. A plastic card with an ID attached. Sorry, I didn't read that properly. That's not a typo, that was me failing to read. A plastic card engraved with an ID is attached to it. It seems to be coated with some kind of special painting. Something tells me that card is going to be very, very much important indeed. Is there anything in the locker? Doesn't appear to be. There is something that we've walked past, Jill, and we're going to be glad when we pick it up. Another first aid spray. With that in mind, I was going to say with that in mind, it's probably a good idea to put away the first aid box for now. Um, yeah, we're not exactly golden, but we are doing better than we were. Diaries and books have been piled up in a disorderly fashion. Speaking of diaries and everything, there is something here. Manager's diary. April 25th. Today is my 30th birthday. I was transferred to this facility today. I'm very happy because the work environment is very different from life in the university. May 14th. The disposal system has been completed. Using a special kind of gas, it can decompose the cells of the guinea pigs. We have to try this out before beginning practical usage of the system, since it is not 100% stable yet. May 20th. While I was checking the treatment room, the door shut and I was locked inside. I couldn't get out for 1 hour. I guess even if you have the key card, it's useless when you're locked inside. June 7th. The guinea pigs we have to dispose of are increasing. The system is not working smoothly. The laboratory staff doesn't listen to my opinions and I'm getting extremely frustrated. July 16th. We can't dispose of all the bodies, and the quality of the liquid medicine is not good enough either. July 29th. Though the function of the system decreases, the number of the bodies we have to dispose doesn't. The infection level has increased and the antibodies we are using is no match for the new mutation of the virus. Some of the workers have been infected by the disease. I've continued to work, but I always keep a gun with me. I must remember to save one bullet for me. I want to weep. I don't want to die here. I swear that I'll lose my mind if I imagine how painful the death will be. And thus, the manager's diary has been filed. And that was actually very ominous, but very informative as well. Of course, as we've discerned, this is where Umbrella disposes some of the less effective bioweapons and the guinea pigs, as they refer to them, in the Dead Factory. And it is a shame that can't actually look at that locker, but never mind. But anyway, going back to my earlier point, is those diary entries were actually posted before the events of the mansion incident and the Arklay murders. Although they did kind of end off sometime around then. But there is an explanation for the manager's diary. It's because of the fact that a certain Umbrella scientist by the name of William Birkin, paranoid about the fact that Umbrella might try to get their hands on his own G-virus. Yeah, suffice it to say that his act of defiance wasn't the only action that he had taken against the corporation. Believe it or not, he was actually the one responsible for overloading the Dead Factory with bodies to try and stall for time. In other words, the infection of Raccoon City cannot simply be traced to the events of September 22nd, but rather July 29th. And possibly even earlier if William's antics are to be believed, which I believe they certainly are. So we have even more of a timeline of the T-virus pandemic, and needless to say, that does not bode well for Raccoon City in the slightest. Oh, William. We would bring you to justice, however, you have entered your own personal sense of hell, brought upon by your own hands, and there is nothing else on this desk here we can use, except for the fact that there are ink ribbons conveniently placed by the typewriter. Now, before we leave, just one final sweep around the room, because there is the very real possibility that we might have missed something. Maybe, then again, maybe not. Oh dear. Nope, the fact that we cannot even open that locker pretty much means that we have explored pretty much everything in this particular room. Which means the only thing left to do is to markedly save our progress. Like so, obviously. Continuing to chronicle our ordeal right up until this point. Going to overwrite the 15th entry of this Let's Play adventure. The resting room. Like so. And I believe that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Biohazard 3 Real Survival. And when we return, we are actually going to go through that other door and explore the rest of the first floor area of the second floor area of the Dead Factory. And try and do a full sweep of this place before we run into too much trouble, because trouble is inevitably going to rear its ugly head yet again. So as always, my dear adventurers, until next we meet.